Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind wasn't just another alien movie. It was a groundbreaking sci-fi story about contact, mystery, and wonder. But behind the glowing UFOs and the iconic five-note musical signal, the production was full of strange choices, behind-the-scenes chaos, and trivia that most fans never hear about. From strange government involvement to bizarre casting decisions, Close Encounters is as fascinating behind the camera as it is on screen. Today, let's explore weird facts about Close Encounters of the Third Kind that will change the way you see this classic film. The title came from a UFO researcher. Spielberg didn't invent the phrase Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It came from real-life UFO researcher Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who created a system for classifying alien encounters. The first kind meant seeing a UFO. The second kind meant evidence like burned ground or radiation, and the third kind meant actual contact with beings. Spielberg loved the phrase so much that he bought the rights to it and used Hynek as a consultant on the film. Hynek even appears in a cameo, smoking a pipe during the climactic alien landing scene, a hidden nod to his influence. NASA warned Spielberg not to make it. When Spielberg was developing Close Encounters, NASA reportedly sent him a 20-page letter urging him not to make the movie. They feared it might cause widespread panic about UFOs or encourage conspiracy theories. Spielberg admitted he was both flattered and a little spooked by the warning. He later joked that if NASA was this worried, maybe there was more truth to UFO sightings than they were admitting. Ironically, the government's attempt to discourage him only made the film feel more authentic, as if Spielberg had tapped into something authorities wanted kept quiet. The famous five notes almost didn't happen. The film's iconic five-note musical theme used to communicate with the aliens was nearly impossible to create. Spielberg asked composer John Williams to come up with a simple but unforgettable musical language. Williams wrote over 300 variations before settling on the five-note sequence we all know today. Spielberg wanted something that felt universal, like a child's tune anyone could remember. The simplicity of those five notes gave the film its magical sense of wonder. Without them, the movie's climax wouldn't have the same emotional punch, and aliens might still be humming a different tune. Spielberg self-financed the film. Even after the success of Jaws, Spielberg struggled to get full studio support for Close Encounters. Columbia Pictures was going through financial trouble and nervous about the film's massive budget. To keep his vision intact, Spielberg took the rare step of putting his own money into the project. He even gave up his director's salary in exchange for a share of the profits. It was a huge risk, but it paid off massively when the film became a box office hit. Spielberg's gamble not only saved the film, but made him a fortune. The mothership was built with junk. The stunning alien mothership seen at the film's end wasn't just a model, it was also a hidden scavenger hunt. Special effects artists decorated the miniature with all sorts of random objects: model cars, toys, airplane parts, and even tiny R2-D2 from Star Wars. If you pause carefully during certain shots, you can spot these hidden Easter eggs. Spielberg and the effects team thought it would be funny to sneak in little secrets, knowing audiences would never catch them in theaters. Decades later, HD releases revealed just how much junk was hiding in plain sight. Richard Dreyfuss begged for the role. Richard Dreyfuss, who had just worked with Spielberg on Jaws, desperately wanted the lead role of Roy Neary. Spielberg originally considered actors like Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, and Steve McQueen, but Dreyfuss lobbied hard, calling Spielberg repeatedly and insisting he was the right choice. McQueen reportedly turned it down because he didn't want to cry on screen. Eventually, Spielberg gave in, and Dreyfuss delivered one of his most iconic performances. The irony is that without his persistence and a little luck, the movie might have starred a completely different Hollywood legend. The child actor outshined the adults. One of the most memorable parts of the film is little Barry Geeler, the child who calmly greets the aliens while adults panic. The actor, Cary Guffey, was only 3 years old during filming. Spielberg used clever tricks to get authentic reactions from him. In one scene, when Barry sees a UFO, Spielberg told crew members to open a box full of toys off camera. Guffey's amazed reaction was completely genuine. Many critics later said the toddler's natural innocence captured the film's sense of wonder better than any adult performance. It was shot in a giant blimp hangar, The climactic alien landing sequence needed a massive set, bigger than anything Hollywood had at the time. So Spielberg rented a decommissioned World War II blimp hangar in Mobile, Alabama. The hangar was so large it could house the enormous mothership model, lighting rigs, and hundreds of extras. The set became one of the biggest indoor filming locations ever used at the time. The sheer scale gave the final sequence its epic look, making the humans feel small in the face of otherworldly visitors. Few sci-fi films since have attempted something that ambitious with practical sets. Spielberg originally wanted a darker ending. While the final film is about awe and connection, Spielberg originally toyed with darker ideas. In one draft, the aliens weren't benevolent, but more mysterious and even sinister. Another version had the government covering up the contact entirely, leaving audiences with paranoia instead of wonder. Over time, Spielberg shifted the tone toward hope and optimism, believing audiences needed a story about unity rather than fear. That choice gave the movie its timeless appeal, though some fans still wonder what a dark, close encounters might have looked like. The film was re-released with new scenes. In 1980, Spielberg released a special edition of Close Encounters with new footage, including an extended look inside the alien mothership. While it was exciting for audiences at the time, Spielberg later admitted he regretted showing too much. He felt the original film's mystery was more powerful, and in later versions he removed the mothership interior. To this day, fans debate which version is better: the theatrical release, the special edition, or the director's cut. It's one of the rare cases where even Spielberg couldn't resist tinkering with his own masterpiece.